things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. So during the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we're making it back out. Yes, I have my doubts. But they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. So roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. And I have my doubts. So I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we're making back out. I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night.
Good evening. I hope everybody is doing well. Wow, it's been, kind of a productive day. Got some stuff done, as well as kept an eye on, the best I could, kept an eye on the convoy, making sure that everything was going okay. Wasn't able to keep as close eye on it today as I had been. I missed a lot of, I'd really been enjoying watching the overpasses as they come up to them. And so I missed a lot of that today. However, something that I did not miss, every evening as they shut down for the night, they speak to everybody. And tonight is no different. except for tonight's speeches by everyone involved were on fire, absolutely on fire. And so I thought I don't have a lot really to talk about. And other than that, just got the headlines to go through. So what I thought I would do is play that video of them talking this evening, and it's going to be pretty much of the video, not all of it, but going to listen to a few different people speak, and I'm telling you, this is the speaking is incredible. The lady to speak. The lady that will speak last, because I'll stop it after her. Just absolutely incredible what she has to say. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to that, and that's what I'm going to play for you. And after that, we'll do some headlines. Hopefully tomorrow, I hope tomorrow we can return to our regular channel. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or the next day. I am hoping that it is tomorrow, however, because they will be going through our neck of the woods tomorrow. And I would like to restream one of the live streamers as they go past our exits here. I don't know if there's anything major planned or anything like that. I have no idea. You know, there had been people that had mentioned in the one group that they would like to go out there. I'm sure there will be people out there. I just don't know how organized it's going to be, but I don't know. I hope to be pleasantly surprised as I watch them on video go past our. We've got 2 exits off the interstate. So anyway, I'm going to shut up. This is going to start out with Brian Brazzi, and he's going to immediately introduce Mike Landis, and Mike's going to speak, and then. I can't remember. I know Maureen's going to come up for a bit, Maureen Steele, and I cannot remember. The lady that I'm talking about, where her speech is absolutely on fire, forgive me, but I cannot remember her name for the life of me. Anyway, let me shut up and just play the video.
I want to introduce somebody up here as we're talking about some heartfelt stuff. There's a story behind this flag. Somebody gave us yesterday, but I'm gonna let Mike Landis come over here, please. I'm gonna let Mike tell the story of this flag, where it came from, and you know, Mike's the lead truck in the Convoy. Mike Landis here, and me and him went to high school together. I won't tell any more of that story, but yeah, Mike.
Good evening, Cuba. I got to take a nice little detour coming in here through your town and let that big old bugger wave. It was pretty cool. So I appreciate you all coming out, all the support. Everybody that's participating in this is riding along with us. Man, it's been awesome. It's been a very powerful experience. Without everybody participating, we wouldn't have nothing. And without everybody that's been on the overpasses and coming out and supporting us, feeding us, we would just be a bunch of people driving across this country, right? So, thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. So, I'm going to say this. There's a bunch of faces around here. He's one, but we went to school together, like he said, so we don't really count. But Marcus, Jeremy, Chucky, Jim, Alan, Ruben, I could go on for a while. There's a bunch of them here. I want to tell you guys something. When this is over, you're going to have a huge family, okay? Brian and I got involved in trucking politics a number of years ago, and some of those people we named were with us when we did stuff like this for trucking and have been rocks in our lives ever since, and will probably continue to be that way. It's amazing the people you meet when you do something like this. So just be prepared for a huge extended family when this is all over, okay? With that being said, last night I had one of those people come get me and told me I had to meet somebody. Through this whole experience, we've had some awesome stuff happen between, you know, just the show off at Adelanto and the Navajo vice president coming out to pray over us out in New Mexico. It's just one thing after another. Last night, I went and I met this gentleman in his pickup truck. And he asked me, he's like, "Are you Mike, the guy with the cab over?" "Yeah, that's me." He's like, "Okay." He's like, "So, my grandfather was in World War II. He drove a tank." I was like, "Oh, cool." And as he's telling me this, he pulls this out, folded in a triangle. And I immediately started crying because I knew exactly what it meant. And he asked me what I thought about flying this flag that his mother, which is the daughter of this guy that was killed in action in Germany, and him have spoke about this for the last few days, and that this movement was the first thing since he died in Germany that reminded her of freedom, and that she realized it was going to get tattered and it was going to get dirty, and it didn't really matter to her as long as she got whatever was left of it back when we were done with this mission. So, today I was not the lead truck. Alan was the lead truck because I went to a fab shop in Joplin, 4 states, and basically walked in and told them, "I'm taking over your shop. You need to build me a flagpole that can hold this piece of history because this thing has been folded for 70 plus years like this, and it's about to see the air again." That flag was draped over a casket coming home from Germany in the 40s. And I will deliver it personally with my truck back to the lady that it belongs to when this is over. So please give that family a round of applause. And with that, I can't really take a whole lot more, so here's Brian. I can't talk now.
Every stop that we've made, every town we've driven through, every interstate we've traveled across has been nothing but absolute love and support for this movement. I said earlier today, we stopped in this town, and I said earlier today about why I do this, why I'm involved, why am I a part of this? And really, it's why are we a part of this? It obviously can't be wrong. We're not on the bad side. We're on the good side when you look at all the support that is going down that highway across this country. We are the good people. We are doing this for all of our own reasons. But my reason is for my daughters. It's for my family. It's for my mama. It's for the teachers, the healthcare workers. It's for my community. It's for all of our communities. I don't care if you're on the left side or the right side of the aisle. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care where you come from, what country you're from, your background, what you believe in, don't believe in, who you worship, who you don't worship. I don't care. What I care about is you right here as Americans in this country. You are Americans. No matter where you come from, you are here today, and you are Americans. We are all Americans. But we're also humans. We're human beings. On a global scale, we are all citizens of the world. Now I'm going to match those two up. We're Americans and we're citizens of the world. In both instances, They have stripping away our rights. They have stripping away our American freedom. They are trying to mandate something that they should not be mandating, as that mandate violates our constitutional rights. And as a human being on a global scale, it violates our God-given rights. We cannot stand by anymore and allow this to continue to happen. And truckers around the world, I encourage you, I beg of you to stand up. The world is ready. The world needs reminded that these governments all around the world, that they work for us. I'm not going to take up much of your time tonight because I want to hang out with the people. This is the People's Convoy. We're going to hang out. So I'm not going to do much more than what I just did because I love every single one of you and I get pretty boring. We got a lot of great people here tonight that I want to try and recognize or give them an opportunity. And the next person I really want to talk right now is Miss Maureen Steele. If you could come over here, please. This woman, from the very beginning, 3 weeks ago, it feels like 3 years ago now, but she was really the first person to reach out to the trucking community and say, I want to help. How can I help you guys? How can I help? And she brings a lot of talent and skill to the table to help us get organized, because we truck drivers, we can't even agree on the same cup of coffee. She came in and she has helped us at the core level, at the foundation of this. She's been a part of it, and she helped us get organized, and she's been my right ear almost the entire way. She's an amazing person. I don't know where we would be without her support. Thank you. I'm gonna let her a chance to speak a little bit, but I want all of you to give this woman a round of applause.
Hi everyone, it's so great to be here in Missouri. And you know, Brian was talking about freedom earlier, and being on this journey across the country and having gone through what we've all gone through over the last 2 years with the pandemic, what I've learned the most is that freedom and love of country is alive and well in the United States of America. There is no shortage of that at all. And what's more overwhelming still is the kindness of the American heart. The generosity of the American people is second to none. Wherever we have rolled into, meals have been rolled out, not only for the truckers, but for everyone there with us, thousands of people that come. It has just been just extraordinary, and I want to share all of those words with you. In the back of the bus that we ride in, we have a Rubbermaid bin, and in that bin is letters from American people. It's especially the letters from the children that we all find the most moving, and you see some of these 250-pound truckers getting all misty-eyed with little girls that empty out their piggy banks and sending the truckers, you know, all the money they have and a piece of candy in an envelope, you know, thanking them for being heroes and for, you know, maintaining their freedom. One of my favorites was a little postcard from a little boy named Travis, who said to the hero truckers, "Thanks for keeping me free. I love you," and he taped a cookie to it. It's beautiful gestures like that. An elderly woman who didn't have money and she couldn't come to the overpass, but she had someone deliver handmade pot holders just because she wanted to give them something and thank them for restoring freedom. And this is the kind of beauty of the American people that we have seen every inch of this journey, and it spills over to all of you being here tonight. So I'm so proud to be an American citizen, to be part of this movement, to be part of, you know, the tip of the spear with these truckers who have been so selfless, as blue-collar America has always been when it comes to fighting for our freedom. They are always the first to throw their hat in the ring when it comes to fighting for freedom, and they're doing it again today for us, and we owe them a world of gratitude. They're nothing short of heroic, and I'm so proud to be standing here with them today. Thank you.
Maureen Steele. There's a amazing people. Excuse me. A lot of amazing people involved in this. Next, I'm going to have up a guy that I didn't know anything about. I'm still learning about him every day, but every day he continuously impresses me with his professionalism and his patriotism and his dedication to the causes he believes in. Josh Oder, you want to come on?
Good evening, Patriots. It's such a pleasure to be here with you this evening. I love these crowds. You know, Americans are showing up for the cause of freedom. That's something that's so impressive. It hasn't happened for so long. It's taken too long for this to happen. You know, we're all here because we believe in freedom. And the reason that you're here and the reason the truckers are here and everyone else who's supporting them is because we understand that with freedom comes a great responsibility. And people are here to answer that call and take action and make sacrifice. And that's how we're going to keep this country free. You know, the truckers often go unnoticed in this country. You know, they work in the middle of the night. They don't get the recognition they deserve. And they finally had enough along with the rest of us, and they decided to do something about it. I'm an airline pilot by trade with U.S. Freedom Flyers. And, you know, we stood up back in August to fight these mandates that came into our industry. And the reason that I'm here is because when we had that hurdle that came to us in our industry, a lot of truckers came and joined our organization, and they helped us. They helped us financially. They donated to our legal cases. There was so much support still to this day on my email. I get hundreds of emails from truckers, you know, supporting us. So when this cause came to my attention, I had to be involved in it, you know, because I want to support those who support us and to support you. We all need to stand together for the cause of freedom. You know, standing together, we can actually make fundamental changes in this country.
That's right.
And speaking about standing together, I want to draw attention to one specific individual. You may or may not have heard of him. He's a street preacher in Canada. His name's Pastor Archer. Pastor Archer has been fundamental in the freedom movement, both here in the United States and in Canada. He's been arrested multiple times for doing the right thing, for standing up for his people, for standing up for you, for standing up for the global population. And once again, he was just recently arrested again for supporting the truckers. He was doing nothing but speaking to them, bringing them food and water, and they arrested him. They've thrown him in prison. And he's currently in prison as we speak. He has given so much to the world, and I'm asking you tonight to help me, to help others help him. I want you all to please go to Free Pastor Art. I believe it's freepastorart.com. Is that correct? And when you go there, you'll see, I believe it's on March 9th. They're looking for volunteers to go to the Canadian consulates all across this country and in Canada to organize vigils for him. There's phone numbers that you can call both in the U.S. government and in the Canadian government to demand his release. So please get involved. You know, what the truckers are doing for all of us, you know, we can also do for Pastor Art. And I think it's so important, you know, to support these people who have really given it all. He's lost everything. He's been demonized in the media. And we need to get him out, because when we get him out, we're going to bring him down here. And we're going to take him on tour, and he's going to speak to you in person. And he's going to speak to the fundamentals of God and freedom. So thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate you all coming out, and we ask for your prayers on this journey. Thank you so much.
I'm going to add a little bit, if I can keep my voice. I'm going to add a little bit here. The organizers of the Canadian Convoy, to my last update, they're still sitting in jail also for standing up for their rights. Keep that in mind. Standing up for their rights, they were thrown in jail. That's the direction that we've been heading as well. We need to stop that. This convoy, there's a lot of trucks, yes. We're standing on a truck. We're talking a lot about the truckers. It might have started with the truckers. Truckers might have stood up and said, we're going to do something. But this is the people's convoy. There are campers. There are buses. There are cars. There are Americans. We the people. This is the people's convoy, and even though the trucks might have started it, it's the American people that are going to finish it. I'm going to bring up another amazing person. She has a way that I have to make her follow me because I can't ever follow her up correctly. So I'm going to just let her give her own introduction. She's amazing. Here you go.
Hey guys. How are we doing in Missouri tonight? I can tell by looking at the size of you that you all love freedom. So before I forget a very important point, the food trucks are coming, I have heard. I'm not sure where they're going to be, but I'm sure you'll follow your nose to find them after this. I'm going to say a little something different than what I've been saying the last couple of times. For those of you who don't know, I'm a human rights attorney, and up until March of 2020, I spent a lot of time on the ground in Southeast Asia. I work in a town that has nothing but brothels in it, 140 child brothels by last count. It sits on the Thailand-Malay border. It is called Sungai Kalak. There's a river that divides the two countries, and on the other side of that border are nothing but radicalized insurgent bomber training camps. And these guys come over the river and they buy the children, and then when they're done doing that, they go back across the river and use those brothels as target practice, such that on an average calendar year, 330 bombs go off in a year out of 365 days, which for those of you who are bad at math like me is a bomb a day except for about a month. I work in countries that are communist. I work in countries that were recently communist. 90% of the girls in the south of Thailand come from Sawanakhet, Laos. It is a communist country. It is a country so damn poor that mothers will sell their eldest daughter to a brothel so that all 7 of their children don't starve to death that year. Communism comes in and promises people we will all be equal, but what they really mean is we will be equally poor, and if you resist us, we will shoot you face down into a ditch like they did in the killing fields in 1970s when I was a child in Cambodia, and Pol Pot and communism came to kill a quarter of their population. There are truckers we are riding with right now who have escaped communism already once this lifetime. Pastor Archer is another example of a man who has already escaped tyranny and totalitarianism once this lifetime. I don't know about you, but I was moved to tears. Ugly, racking, can't catch your breath, crying, sobbing tears when I saw that first video of him going, out, out you communist bastards, out of my church, you get out of my church. That man knew what totalitarian tyrannical takeovers looked like, and he was not about to let it take root in his country or in his church, of all places. And God bless him for it. I'm going to repeat that website. What is it, Joshua? freepastorart.com. And I want you, as a personal favor to me, to do exactly what Joshua Yoder of U.S. Freedom Flyers asked you to do a minute ago. The truckers who called me a few weeks ago to spitball and brainstorm how they could get their message out, we're not just looking for a right to work unfettered, unencumbered, unrestricted, for the right to deliver goods to deep, dark, bad night, winter of Canada in -30 after 2 bad leaders said you can't cross a border unless you go do something medical that they didn't want to do. These truckers are fighting for freedom, but make no damn mistake, they are fighting for something even more, even greater than that, and that is the right to be free from totalitarian takeover, and don't you forget it. God bless them. Freedom, freedom. USA, 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 USA. I find it ironic, but not really, that when we rolled out of Adelanto, we rolled out of there with only 2 groups supporting us besides mine. The Unity Project, God bless them, and the American Foundation for Civil Liberties and Freedom, which is running the website and collecting the donations in a way that is hopefully going to be impervious to the shenanigans that Canada put against the Canadian trucker donations. Those two organizations deserve our respect because they are making this, and by that I mean the quest for freedom that is brought to you by the American Truckers. They are making this possible. I, however, was a little shocked that it was largely truckers and mothers who rolled out at Adelanto Stadium, and that a lot of other groups did not do so. But on further reflection, it didn't surprise me much at all, because the mothers are renowned for protecting their children, and their truckers are renowned for having the guts to do what needs to be done in the middle of a dark, cold night in Montana to save their brother if he's down in his rig. God bless the people who are at the tip of the spear and fighting for our freedom. God bless them. God bless them. The truckers' message, if I don't mistake it, is very simple. They don't believe in what divides you and me. They believe in what unites you and me. They don't really give a rat's behind if you're blue, black, yellow, red, some other color, white, purple, in between. They don't really care where you pray or if you pray on Sunday. They don't care what your God is called or if you don't believe in God. They don't care what gender you are, who you want to marry, who you want to date. All they care about is, are you an American? Do you believe in freedom? And are you freaking willing to fight for it? Peacefully, because I know we're on the radar of every triple letter organization from coast to coast right now. And let me use that as an impromptu segue to the fact that this has been a 100% law-abiding, peaceful, safe journey. We have done 6 states in about as many days. We have been greeted by crowds just like this in the middle of nowhere, where you don't even think they have 5 people living in the county, let alone 500 or 5,000. Every overpass has been chock-a-block full of people. Every overpass. So when we started hitting New Mexico and Texas, those overpasses weren't just full of people. They were full of first responder vehicles. They were full of fire trucks. They were full of firemen standing on their fire trucks waving their flags. They were full of cranes holding that flag high.
I'm not a minister, but I can do it.
We are going toward D.C. We're not going into D.C., and y'all know why. They are headed there with a message, by there I mean the East Coast in general, with a message that it is time to end these abusive, divisive mandates that call you less than me or me less than you, or you can't associate with me because you got a shot and I didn't, or vice versa. It is time to end that. It is time to get back to living and loving and making a damn dollar so we can pay our mortgage. And God bless these guys again, because they are leading the way in that charge.
This is awesome.
I did not know the story Mike, I think, told you all about that flag. And maybe it's just me, and maybe I'm a little brain foggy tired. But does that flag look different than the ones that are made that you buy at Walmart?
A little bit.
Doesn't it look brighter?
It's like 70 years old.
I think it looks brighter. I think we need to fly that flag. You know, I'm the grandchild. Actually, I'm the great-great-great-great-grandchild of Patrick Henry, who said, "Give me liberty or give me death." But I am also the grandchild of a man who stood on the decks of the USS West Virginia on December 7, 1941, as his ship was bombed out from under him. And I am, on the other side, a descendant of grandparents who came from Eastern Europe fleeing communism. And in my family, you grew up saying, "Yes, sir," you bowed your head in church, and you flew that flag high, because that flag represents freedom, and that is the only damn thing that matters. God bless you. God bless these truckers. And you can find us at thepeoplesconvoy.org.
You can't give much of a better speech than that. And I thought that that deserved to be heard, because you can be rest assured that mainstream media isn't playing anything of the sort. In fact, from my understanding, mainstream media has been pretty mute about the entire convoy. And I think my suspicion was correct. Like Fox News, for instance, I think it was cute for them at first going into it, but I think their handlers called them up and said, hey, you can't give these people any more attention. And I think that's largely why you've seen them real quick, like no longer doing interviews and stuff on Fox. Instead, it was these other, they're not mainstream outlets, but I don't know, I think OAN might possibly have interviewed some. And then what is it, Newsbreak or something like that? They have been interviewing them. Steve Bannon, he doesn't shy away from interviewing them. That's why we got our strike on YouTube, was because I uploaded that Steve Bannon video interviewing them. Steve Bannon's banned by YouTube, so me uploading somebody's content that has been banned, that's eligible for a strike. So anyway, like I say, absolutely incredible interview. I've got one more thing before I get to headlines that I want to add to the convoy stuff. This was a post on Facebook a couple hours ago, as you see. And it says here, and I'm not going to go through and name all the names or businesses, but they wanted to give a huge shout out to some individuals in Park Hills, Missouri, as well as some businesses. And it says here, these kids and their adult helpers, I'll scroll it up so you can see the kids. These kids and their adult helpers are right now tirelessly baking over 500 cinnamon rolls to hand out to the truck drivers tomorrow morning in Cuba, Missouri. Their message to us: this is our way to say thank you. We have fought this mandate thing from the beginning and so grateful for the opportunity to do something for those of you who are taking this national and to our government. Drivers, get yours by our black tour bus in the morning at 7 a.m. Anyway, it says, thank you, kids. We appreciate you. You are why we are doing this. So I thought that was pretty incredible there, and that's where they're at now. Like I said, they've had a lot of support on their journey, which is that's awesome. That's what I wanted to see. Like I said, I hope as they come through here, I hope that I'm not disappointed in my area. And I don't think I will be. I really don't. I don't know that they would go all out and do fire trucks and all that, but they might. I mean, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but it all depends. I don't know where the town's politics is right now. I really don't care. Anyway, and I know some people would be like, well, you don't care about your own town's politics? Well, then, look, our government at this point is so corrupted that even if a good person gets in, it's hard for them to remain good, because if they remain good in nature, they probably won't last very long when it comes to winning re-election. So, and it almost seems like many of them have to up their ante each election season as far as corruption. And so slowly over time, even the best intentioned people starting out turn into scumbags. I give to evidence Dick Durbin, the state of Illinois. He used to be a stand-up person. He really was. Now he's just he's a piece of crap. Absolute piece of crap. It is what it is. Okay, reckon you can go on into the headlines here and get those whipped out and get out of here. And like I say, I don't know if in the morning I'll look and have access back to the regular channel, or if it'll be another day after that. For sure, I don't know. It is what it is. I'll just serve my time and apparently I didn't qualify for early release on parole or nothing, because I'm still bandaged. All right. All of them starting from this morning, at least that's when I put them out. Soros compares Ukrainian conflict to siege of Nazi-held city. Brazil won't take sides in Russia-Ukraine conflict, says president. U.S. citizens told to leave Russia immediately. And this is really, I'm telling you, this is escalating to a serious level. Great Reset architect backs Ukraine. Russian central bank raises key interest rate to 20% per annum. Russian-Ukrainian peace talks to begin on Monday. Russian military offers safe passage for evacuation from Kiev. Ukraine entering crucial period, Zelensky tells UK. North Korea tests satellite surveillance system. EU includes carve-out and, carve-out and ban on dealing with Russia's central bank. Belarusians vote for constitutional amendments. Major chip makers halt sales to Russia, says media. Ukraine names key points for talks with Russia. Europeans to pay a price for Russian sanctions, says a top EU official. Let's see. Russia takes control of key Ukrainian nuclear plant, or point, whatever the hell you want to call it. BP dumps stake in Russian oil giant. Ukrainian athletes demand total Russian and Belarus ban. Russia-Ukraine talks begin. Gas prices in Europe jump 35% amid Russia supply worries. Throwing words in there. Ukraine deserves emergency EU accession, says Zelensky. Russian exporters ordered to convert most foreign currency to rubles. Sanders-linked U.S. group blasts NATO's imperialist expansion. About that, converting currency, I'm thinking, really, I'm thinking about the safest, by the way, I got to say it like everybody else, all professional like, this is not financial advice. But I'm thinking that the best investment today would be to take real money, federal notes from the government, and trade them in for monopoly money. Because I think probably within a year's time, that monopoly money is going to have more value than the U.S. government fiat currency. So it's just a little bit of a inside investor tip. Australia blacklist Putin, and I'm sure they backlisted him too. UK delivers lethal aid to Ukraine. It's not like Gatorade, it's lethal aid. So apparently it'll kill you, not refresh you. Do I hear... Hang on. My goodness. Gosh. I get the point, kid. I'm doing headlines, okay? Cut me some slack. Russian central bank steps up ruble support. China comments on Western sanctions against Russia. Kremlin comments on effectiveness of Ukraine military operation. Looters to be shot on the spot. Ukrainian mayors warn. That dog is insane. Spain proposes closing ports to Russian oligarchs over Ukraine. Russian vodka pulled from U.S. shelves. Websites of major Russian media taken down by hackers. FIFA sanctions are about politics and big money, says a Russian official. U.S. closes embassy in Belarus, allows staff to leave Russia. EU reveals how long Ukrainian refugees will be allowed to stay. Aeroflot cancels all flights to the U.S. Ukraine's EU membership not on the agenda, says Burrell. Russia closes airspace to 30-plus states. Russian central bank takes ruble off life support. Russia confirms putting nuclear forces on high combat alert. I mean, we are literally at the same position as what we were, say, during the Cuban Missile Crisis. That is where we are right now. Olympic officials recommend ban on Russia and Belarus. Russia blames UK FM for elevated nuclear alert. Lavrov's trip canceled due to unprecedented ban, says Moscow. Germany once limited Russia's SWIFT ban, says Foreign Ministry. Russia reacts to IOC call for total ban on athletes. U.S. tells citizens to consider leaving Russia immediately. I wonder if that includes Edward Snowden. Probably doesn't include Edward Snowden. Well, I mean, I'm sure they would like him to leave and come back so they could arrest him, but Russia reveals diplomat recall stance. Volvo trucks hauling out of Russia. Vatican offers to mediate between Russia and Ukraine. Hundreds arrested over Moscow anti-war protests. Taiwan rejects inappropriate Ukraine comparison. World's biggest crypto exchange refuses to block Russian accounts. U.S. singles out Putin ally for more sanctions. Putin talks to Macron on Ukraine. Ukraine says talks with Russia have reached certain decisions. And by the way, all of a sudden, Twitter started putting a warning on every single RT article that I tweeted out. And so you're going to see warnings on every single one now. It's ridiculous. UK to lead efforts to kick Russia out of Interpol. London takes back Putin regime change claim. U.S. views on mask mandates are shifting. Airbnb to house Ukrainian refugees. Putin stripped of honorary Taekwondo black belt. No plans to occupy Ukraine, Russia tells the UN. RT responds to Ofcom investigations. Ex-SAS soldier testifies to atrocities committed in Afghanistan. Bulgarian defense minister fired over Ukraine comments. Putin slams West's empire of lies. The Pentagon blames fat finger mistake for reposting Tucker Carlson's Ukraine take. U.S. sends delegation to Taiwan amid invasion fears. Ukraine lodges formal EU membership bid. By the way, as I've said before, I do expect China to make a move on Taiwan, so apparently others do as well. Biden tells Americans not to worry about nuclear war. You're not worried because you're taken care of. And you're, they just change your battery out. You're good. Amazon's Alexa offers health care. That ought to work out well. Hunter Biden's partner gets prison sentence. Alexa, give me a colonoscopy. Let's see. Ukraine goes visa-free for foreign fighters. U.S. expels diplomats from Russia's UN mission. Facebook restricts EU users' access to RT and Sputnik. Japan sanctions Putin. And that's it. We're caught up. All right. Well, there you have it. Those are the headlines. I am going to get out of here and chillax. Like I say, I'm hoping tomorrow I wake up and have access back to the other channel. So I hope. If not, it is what it is. And we'll be over here another day. So whether we're here, whether we're there, I hope to see you tomorrow. God willing, we will be. And I am out of here. I hope you all have a good night. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.